Welcome to Logos Bible Software Tutorials. So earlier on this week, I posted a video. I will put it in the comments or that I will put it in the description. So I talked about how in Logos Bible Software, you can use grammars like a syntactical commentaries, but not every grammar is very good to do this. So we are going to create two collections. One is for more of the syntactical stuff that we are going to look for in our text. But we're also going to create another one of just grammars to give you big picture information, and then it's going to add a whole lot more detail than the current um, grammatical constructions. Let's get at it. Here we are, uh, the Logos Bible software, and currently, the Exegetical guide is great, but we can find a way for it to work better for us. But in order to do that, I got to show you some resources that we're going to add because as it is right now, so if I come in here, I scroll down and I go to grammars, even if I click on books, this doesn't really, it talks about the infinitive, it talks about my verse, um, but there's a better way where we can make this to work for us and for it to be more of a commentary feel. And what we want is more of a commentary on just the syntax. How are these words and phrases used? There's a whole lot of grammars here. Some we are going to use and some we ain't. First thing we're going to do, I want to point you to a resource. This is going to be one, Prepositions and Theology in the Greek New Testament. What this does, it's a wonderful resource. So it's mainly concerned with the prepositions of the New Testament. And so, for instance, the preposition dia, it gives you a basic um history of the word dia, how it came to be, and it's got some passages that did describe its usage. Now this ain't gonna come up all the time with every passage, but the passages that it do come up with, it's very, very important. We're gonna use that. We are also gonna use the Lexem Syntactical this one right here. The Lexem Syntactic Greek New Testament SBL edition, the expansions and annotations. You could use this one or this, either one, but you want to get the expansions and annotations. Where we're going to drag this over and I'm going to show you why. So what they did here is they took every passage in the New Testament and or every word in the New Testament and they categorized it according to its syntactic force. And these go also into other grammars for more detail, Wallace, Smith, and BDF. So we're also going to pull from this one, the grammar of the Greek New Testament in light of historical research. This um, this is a more involved, whereas BDAG just handles the words, and this categorizes that the New Testament, and they quote it from various syntactical things. For example, in this one right here, that the various usages of the article with an adjective, and it's going to pull up this one, Matthew 3:2. There's also a series that is very helpful, and so it's going to be the exegetical, summary. This series right here is an invaluable resource that I turn to time and time again. I turn to it over and over and over. What it does, so we're gonna come here and we're gonna just pick some. So it's got some explanation of the discourse, but morally, it takes words and phrases of each and it asks a critical question. What is the relationship indicated by the conjunction? And this is a very helpful when you're trying to understand the syntax and the context in respect to the literary context. And all that is right here. All of it is right here. So we're going to use all these, and we are going to create a collection with just these resources. So we're going to create a collection. We'll call this grammar commentary. So we're going to have a rule. Exegetical. Understood. Yeah. So now these are all in our grammar, but the rest, since what I have is not going to since these are pretty much an individual resources and they're never going to grow. So I'm going to just drag them over. First, I wanted to have the lexem intact. We're going to take this one, the SLB, and we're going to drop it here. We're also going to take the preposition, prepositions and theology. We're going to drag it over here. We are also going to take the BDAG in light of historical research, these are never going to change. Now, when we close all this out, now we're going to drag this over. So now we're going to add commentaries. And we're going to change which commentaries that we have. So I'm just going to type grammar. Yeah, so we have our grammar commentary. Now, it just lists. Now what we're going to do, we're going to move this up. And this would probably go after I would use it after maybe here. So when I come here, it's going to give me this information, but it's also going to give me this. And let's go just to Ephesians. Ephesians 2:3. Let's just say that's the passage I'm going for. Ephesians 2:3. Okay, right, Revelation. So it's going to pull the stuff from whatever passage that I go to. Gives me that. So if I wanted to also click on here, it's going to go here. Let's say I want to go into Ephesians. Just one. Ephesians 2:1 through 10. And it's going to pull me on the commentary on Ephesians 2:1 to 10. These are invaluable resources. So next, I want a specific one, a specific commentary, or a specific collection on specific grammars. Because I got some go-to grammars that I always use. So we are going to create a collection. And because it's specific grammars and not all my grammars, that I'm just going to add those one by one. First, I'm going to add the grammar by mouse. But I'm also going to add his also graded reader. Because in here, he's got a variety of explanations about various passages. Now, he's not going to talk about every passage, but when he does talk about a passage, I want to reference it. Also, in his grammar, in the very first parts of each one of his chapters, he gets into some small new nuanced stuff like he's got this thing called the exegetical insight, where he will talk about a verse or a passage, and knowing that from time to time can be very helpful when I am doing my study. Next, I'm gonna pull the stuff from Wallace. Now I got a lot of stuff from Wallace. I have his lectures. I've got all kinds of stuff. All right, you got some options here. I love his older grammar, and there's nothing different. I just can move around it a lot better. So he's got this one. This is the abridged edition, and it's not going to have as much information. Here is his more newer one. Both will work. This one's going to have more information than this. And you might also want his video lectures to be because it really goes into a variety of things. If you want his lectures, because it surely wouldn't hurt. The other resource that's starting to gain some traction, I like it, going deeper with New Testament. So the best way I know how to explain it, Mounces is obviously a first-year Greek student thing. Wallace may be a bit too in-depth, but the going deeper with New Testament Greek is kind of an in-between depth-wise between Mounce and Wallace. But I'm going to add this. I'm going to add the I just love the way this is laid out. I love this grammar. It's one of my favorite. And then he gets into some discourse stuff at the end. He gets into some talk about word studies. It's a nice, and he's got a lot of information. He covers a lot, and he's got scripture passages linking it, and it would do well to handle and to hit more of a general idea of the various grammar concepts that you're going to encounter. This next one, it's by Runge. Runge's Discourse Grammar of the New Testament. It's changed how I think about Greek. It is it's easily becoming one of my favorite Greek grammars. So these are all the ones that we're gonna have. And so whenever he talks about something in his grammar and it's in your passage and he talks about it, you can refer back to it. So we are now going to get into, we are going to make another collection. So the obvious question, do I want to make a rule or do I want to drag and drop? Because I don't need to make a rule because you're going to use a rule when you have multiple resources that are going to change or that could possibly change. One of the important things that you have to, I can't just drag this over. Unfortunately, that's not something I can do. You're going to have to pick the books from over here. So I know this one And I'm going to drag it here. I'm also going to drag Wallace. And we're going to pick the more exhaustive one and not the abridged, because we want that information. We're also going to add going deeper. Going to add that. We're also going to, oh yeah, Mounce's grammar. I'm also going to add some other stuff. Okay. We're also going to add his graded reader, which is already up. And we want this. We wanted the discussion. We also want so he's got a book. Want to point this out a bit. So he's got a word workbook as well. If you wanted to add that, then you can. But I also want to add read the author with books. Gotta refer this just came into my mind. Heiser, anything by Heiser, if I can put this in. But he did a logos. There we go. Learn to use. So we're gonna add. So we're gonna be doing the learn to use, and we're gonna learn to use biblical Hebrew. This is way back in logo 6, but it's still got good information. But we're gonna add the learn to use because there are passages that are marked in here. We're also gonna learn to use logos with Greek. There we go. We have another resource that we're going to add. These are just kind of coming off the fly. Sorry about that. But it's courseware. Anytime you want to search into a Bible course that one of these courses that Low Logos makes, right here by Schwant. We're also going to add this one. He also has a grammar. He also has a grammar as well that we're going to add. His grammar. So we're going to get the revised edition. These are ones I consult on a regular basis. So we're gonna say favorite Greek, Hebrew. There isn't a lot of Hebrew in here, but there's some. Um, let's just favorite grammars. Now, these are ones that I consult with all the time. These are my favorite grammar. So now we're going to come to the exegetical, and when we're going to scroll down here to the grammars, we're just going to change from the settings, and we're going to change this to our favorite grammars. Now, and it automatically categorizes it according to each one, and you can see it based on the books. So in this case, it only pulls up the books that have something to say about Ephesians 2:10, and this is why I pulled up, or this is why that I listed all these, because these are my go-to. Wallace talks about something here. So, what about our passage in Luke? Luke 1. It was Luke 1:1-4. This is so our grammar commentaries here. We're going to go into our books in Greek, and it only talks about one book. But because these are my go-tos, that I don't have to filter through my other books. And this gives me more specific, and it's more catered to my study. The whole point of Logos is not wasting your time. I hope that was helpful, and you have a wonderful